Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to grow peppers in these whiskey containers. So recently I did a video displaying the setup, and surprisingly there are many people that express interest in exactly how I did it. So today I'm going to show you that. The process is very easy, and the most important thing is the soil mixture. If you don't have soil mixture of your own, then you can use seed starting mix. Those will work because that type of soil is very nice and soft. Here I have a soil mixture that I made for myself. This is I think 60% peat moss and 40% manure and compost, and this will create a nice soil mix right here. It's pretty nice and soft. It retains moisture really well, and it allows water to drain also. So that is a decent mix for this kind of grow. So next you need a whiskey bottle of your choice. If you can find one with a larger opening, those will be the best, because a smaller opening would be a little bit difficult for you to manage and water and stuff like this. Like this here, this is small, so it does create a little bit of a challenge when you water. And this here has a larger opening, so it does help with the watering process, and it keeps things a little bit simpler. Okay, so you need a bottle, and then you will need a medicine dropper, and just cut the top out, because this is going to be a way for you to sort of like feed water through. You can also water through here, but sometimes when you water through here and the hole is tight because the roots are all grown around this area, it creates like a really tight area. So that's like a bottleneck that won't allow water to get through easily. So this act as a device that will help deliver water down to the bottle. So that is the only purpose. So first, you want to rinse the container out to get rid of all the whiskey remains that are in there. Okay, next what we're going to do is try to add soil to the container, and this is the longest process right here. It does take a bit of time because the whiskey barrel has a really tight opening at the top right here. That's why I mentioned that if you have a whiskey container with a larger opening, it does help. Okay, so once you fill it around almost to the very top, we're going to need to add some water. And if your soil is super dry, then you may have to spend a bit of time to feed the soil into here, the water into here, so that you can get everything evenly moistened. So let me go ahead and do that. So you can just pour the water into here and let it soak up and get evenly distributed in there. And once the soil is nicely compacted with the plant in there, so if you happen to put too much water, you can actually lift it upside down. Like, see, it would not come out. So if you happen to water too much, you can actually see it, and you can just tilt it like this and kind of pour it out. Okay? So now we need to add a little bit more soil to get it to the top. Okay, once it's almost to the top, then you're going to need your pepper plant. And you need a really small pepper plant, a young one, because the young pepper plant has straight roots. It's easier to work with. If you have a larger pepper plant, then it'll take a bit of work to get it in there. So let me remove this. Okay, so here's my plant. So I'm going to hold it like here, like so. And you want to hold it like that. And you can use that to push the root down. And then we're going to add soil. And I use that to assist it. Okay, and you want to leave a little bit of an opening. You don't want to fill all the way to the top, just enough so that the pepper plant can stand. And then put this tube in there, like so. And now you can just water. There you go. And that should be enough for now. And this is my lemon starburst. Make sure there is moisture around here because this is a young plant. The root is around right here. So make sure there's moisture in there, and that should be good enough. So this is what it looks like. We will be back soon, and I will show you what it looks like once it grows to around this size. And as I mentioned, this tube here is just so that when everything is really tight around here, when the roots are all growing, then this will help feed water down to here. Okay, so we will be back. Alright guys, it has been exactly 7 days now, and my plant is doing great. And you can see it grew a little bit in 7 days. So the setup is working really well. So let me show you how I feed the plant. It's very simple. So I usually mix my nutrients here, a gallon at a time. It's very simple. I'm not doing anything crazy. All I did was fill the bucket here, or the container here, with this much water. And then I take my AeroGarden liquid plant food here, and I drop 3 milliliter in there. And you just use this medicine dropper here. Take 3 milliliter from the plant food and just drop it in here, and then you just shake it up. And then that is how I feed my plant. If you want to go with organic, you can just do a worm casting tea, and then you can feed that the exact same way, and that should work as well. So again, you just take the medicine dropper, and then you can just put it over here, and then you can feed your plant. You don't have to do it very often because the moisture in the soil is good enough already, and it does take a long time for this to dry out. But at the top here, you just want to make sure that nothing's dried up. So every once in a while, like every 3 to 4 days, just give it a little bit. And that does also assist with the roots growth as well. So you just have this here, and it's very difficult to water at this time. I mean, to overwater, because as soon as you feed it, it'll go all the way down. And the water will end up somewhere here. And if you happen to water too much, it'll collect down at the bottom here, and you can actually just tip the plant over and pour it out. But just make sure you monitor and not water too much. Just give it enough water so that there's moisture in here, and it will grow. So in 7 days, it's actually doing pretty good. So we will be back soon. Alright guys, it has been 23 days now, and the plant is growing very nicely. Look at this, very nice and healthy, getting a lot bigger. And the other ones are doing great as well. They're starting to fruit. So in very little time, this guy is going to expand and produce flowers, and will fruit as well. But yeah, the plant is doing great, and it is a really neat method. Look at all the roots right here. Soon there will be more roots down here, and the more roots they have, the more they will grow. So let me show you this bigger one. This is the one that I have been trimming to just get all the side shoots and stuff like that. So you see, look at this. There's lots and lots of roots in there. And trimming is good for these type of setup because we're growing inside, and if the top leaves like this here, you see how it gets really big and it becomes like a canopy, and then it will block the inside leaves from growing. And when that happens, the plant just keep getting taller and taller and taller. And you know, you kind of want to keep it manageable and short and get more sides. And in order to do that, like this one here, you see this huge canopy here? It's covering everything that's here inside there. So those plants or those branches would not grow. And in order for them to grow, we're gonna have to like pinch the top and then clear the larger leaves. And then that's the only way for these guys to able to get lights, and then we'll be growing just like these. And this was exactly how I did it. I took a plant like that. I cut the tip, and then I cleared all the leaves right here. You can see there are no larger leaves left. And then when I did that, the sides, like the bottom shoots, you see here? See all those sides started to grow. It will delay your plant a little bit, but because you're doing it inside, there's really no season, so it's fine to delay. But it's gonna grow back and become a very nice and full plant, and short, exactly how we want it. Because if it's too tall, it may tip and all that stuff. So it's easier to manage this way. It also looks much better as well. I think it's very beautiful that it's nice and full. And I'm gonna do the same for this guy as that. Alright guys, I'm going to demonstrate how I usually trim these plants to get the size to grow so that they would look like this right here. A lot of branches and nice and short and very full. Here is the plant that needs to be trimmed. And if I don't trim it, as I mentioned, the sides here are gonna have difficult time growing, because you see how it's being covered by the umbrella. So inside, when you grow under grow lights, it's not like the sun where it points, and you know, the sun kind of roll over, and sometimes the plant can get sun on this side as the afternoon, and then morning it gets this side, and so on. Indoor is only gonna get whatever is on top. So it's, you know, that's a challenge for many plants. So in order for a lot of the size to grow, we're gonna have to help it by trimming the top. As I mentioned, again, trimming will delay the plant a little bit, but because there's no season, then it's not a problem indoor. So you see here, we already have flowers, and so if I trim it, the flower is gonna be delayed, but I really need to, because I need this plant to be shorter, or else my bottle is gonna tip and I don't get the side branches. So here, what we're gonna do is we're gonna give it a good topping, because it is tall enough, and that is the exact size that I want. You see, I just clipped the top off. And then we're gonna have to clear these here. It looks a little bit crazy, but don't worry guys, pepper plants are amazing and they will come back in very little time. So I'm just gonna trim all of these big leaves here. Okay, there you have it. That plant becomes this, and then now the sides are gonna grow. You can trim a little bit more to get, you know, like airflow to come through, because there's just so many leaves here that kind of like hinder flow. So try to clear those out. It would not be a problem. It's not gonna hurt your plant. It does look like you butcher this, and it looks very drastic, but the plant will come back. I'll clear it a little bit more, but that's about what I usually do when I trim. So we'll be back soon once the plants make a return, some progress, and then I will update you guys. Alright guys, welcome back. It has been exactly 5 days since we trimmed the plant, and after 3 days I trimmed it again. So that's why a lot of these sections are cleared. You see here, the branches down here are getting really good amount of lights, and then these branches here are starting to grow. So in very little time, it's just 5 days, these guys are just growing like crazy. And so you can see here, I've been trimming more and more, like, you know, every 1 to 2 days they would start to grow these leaves. and then the leaves will block those bottom shoots, so I have to clear it. So let me show you. So those are the leaves that I've cleared in the last 3 days. And this plant here is now 30 days old. So man, it is looking beautiful. And here it is. Look at this amazing progress. Look at all those roots, and they're all going to grow like crazy. So I started a few more. So I got one here, and then I started this one here, and it is doing really well. So I kind of made a little change. See, you should cut it sideways so that when you feed the plant, it's much easier. So let me show you. Here's my nutrients, and if you have something like this, it'll work pretty well for small plant. So you just draw the nutrients, and then you just feed it through here. It's pretty quick, you see? And that is usually how I feed these plants. If you want to do it the lazier way, if you have a spray bottle, I'll show you how to do that. See here? If you have a pump bottle, you just go like this. And that's how you feed your plant much more quickly. So, you know, use your own imagination, do whatever you want, and whatever works best for you, or whatever is available to you. And let me show you what the plants can produce, just so you can see. Here it is. This is one of the one that I started a while back, and it is already having fruits. You see there's fruits down here. There are fruits there. See, they're starting to produce peppers all over the place. A good amount, actually. You see all those flowers? They're all turning into fruit. And amazingly, not very many of these flowers are dropping. So all of them are turning into peppers. See, these are the larger ones. So this is a really fun method. It's really cool way of reusing your favorite whiskey bottle, because these are my favorite, and I didn't want to trash the bottle because they're really nice quality. So you want something that's nice and sturdy and heavy, because if it's heavy, it's harder to be knocked over. The Lagavulin here is a little bit lighter, so it kind of tip easily. But look at this one. This is going to be a really sturdy plant. So the bigger the space, the more they will grow, and the more fruits they will produce. Okay guys, so try it out, and you will be amazed at the progress and how beautiful and cool it is. And it's also very, very fun. Alright, so a little bonus, just in case you guys are wondering what I'm using for my light and my tent. This is the Spider Farmer tent, which is a 4x4x6, which is 6 feet high. And this is the 4000 series LED grow lights. I can post all the information if you guys want to go and check it out. You don't have to use this exact setup. Use whatever you have, but that is just for those that are asking. So that's it guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions or comments, please leave it below, and thank you so much for watching.